Avi Meyer's Northtown Neighborhood News Magazine, a presentation of Sonny Hirsch and myself. Dial us up on the web at www.ntnm.org, where you can catch videos. You can catch dozens and dozens of interviews of candidates for this year's election. We're real big on community policing, caps24.org. If you're watching this on YouTube before March 22nd or 23rd, whenever it is, you can still participate in Jewish Chicago. If it's after that, pick it up on the newsstands. Go to www.aviworld.com, where it's going to be available free on the web. We'll have a circulation of over 70,000 this time in the print publication, and untold thousands more on the web. Who knows, if we get the right thing on there, maybe even 40 billion people. You never know. In any event, the 9th Judicial Subcircuit is my home subcircuit, and I'll let my next guest tell you where the 9th Subcircuit is. And he's somebody who's very familiar to a number of people. His family's certainly familiar because they owned and operated Northeastern Fruit Market for, about 38 years or so.
Close to 40, yeah.
And a very popular place at Lincoln and Peterson. And we're talking about a candidate for the 9th Subcircuit, Tom Kougias. How are you?
How are you? Pleasure.
Real good. It's my pleasure. Thank you very much, and thank you for coming back, and thank you for being here. Where is the 9th Subcircuit?
9th Subcircuit covers pretty much from Devon and north, from the lake west. So it covers a portion of Chicago. It covers Debbie Silverstein's ward. It covers Joe Moore's ward, a little bit of Pat O'Connor, and it covers the suburbs, Evanston, Lincolnwood, Skokie, Wilmette, a portion of Niles, a portion of Morton Grove. And it, of course, kind of juts in and out certain areas, but it's mostly the suburbs with a little portion of the Chicago area.
And yeah, there's a lot of really great judicial minds up there, and you're one of the two heavy hitters in this year's race.
I am. I ran 2 years ago as well, and I'm back here again in this race. It's a two-man race now, and Judge Ezrick is running, and I am running as well. So it's we've got our work cut out for us.
No, definitely. And listen, hopefully, I wish there were there were slots available for each of you, because you're both really good people that deserve good bar ratings and deserve to win. So anyway, why should we vote for you?
I came out of law school in 1988, and for the first couple, 2.5, 3 years, I worked. I did some civil work. I worked for a criminal defense attorney, and then I was fortunate, and I joined the Cook County State's Attorney's Office. I've spent pretty much every day of my legal life in a courtroom, every day. In the State's Attorney's Office, I started in traffic court. I was in traffic court for a year, and every day you're doing a multitude of trials and motions, confined to driving under the influence of alcohol or boating under the influence of alcohol, as well as suspended license, more serious charges. Then I went into the Juvenile Justice Bureau, where I was in delinquency as well as abuse and neglect. I did that for 3 years. And in the State's Attorney's Office, you just move. You gradually move up the ladder. And in abuse and neglect, I then became a screener, which was in a supervisory capacity, where you meet with DCFS, and they present petitions to either remove the children from an injurious environment, or if it's not that hazardous of a situation, you can appoint to have caretakers come and help assist the families. So I did that as well, and then from there I went to preliminary hearing courts, night narcotics, which they phased out now, but you had court that started at 4 o'clock in the afternoon.
Wow.
And went till midnight. And you were doing narcotics cases. There were so many drug cases.
Yeah, actually, people buy drugs there at night. They're not around during the day.
Well, what they did was, actually, Walter Jacobson did when he was on Channel 2, they were looking to build a separate courthouse, and he said he did a survey, and they found out that most of the courtrooms, the felony courtrooms, were empty after 12 o'clock. So they decided to, instead of building a whole new courthouse, let's use the same courtroom with fresh judges, with fresh assistant state's attorneys, assistant public defenders. But what they found out was, number one, for the defense attorney, it wreaked havoc on them because you're from 6 o'clock in the morning, you're jogging around from Markham to all the different courthouses, Skokie. And then when everybody else is going home, now you got to group up and represent your clients, which are in night narcotics court.
Wow.
But they also found out that it really wasn't that realistic that all courtrooms were down by noon. If you go to 26th Street or some of the suburbs, court cases drag on. Usually you have your entire call to deal with in the morning, and you pass your cases, which are heard starting maybe the late morning, going into the afternoon motions in case on felony matters. So,
yeah, from a juror standpoint, I've been there at 26th and Cal at 4:30. Actually, after 6 o'clock another time. So.
Absolutely. The courtrooms run late more often than not, and in any event, so from after I did that, then I became a third chair, and I started at the Skokie Courthouse, part of the Cook County system. So I was there as a third chair doing felony trials, and then I transferred to 26 in California, where I went through a series of judges there. They move you from courtroom to courtroom, but you're doing felonies. You're doing felony trials from guns and drugs to murders, attempt murders, gang crimes. I was in Judge Alonso's courtroom, who's now a federal judge, and we dealt with quite a few press cases. I prosecuted a guy that was on the terrorist watch list.
Wow.
And it was a press case. It was a Northwest Side press case for unrelated reasons. He was just harassing and torturing, not torturing, but this young lady who worked as a waitress. And he was trying to gain her affection. She had nothing to do with him. And he wound up shooting her.
Wow.
And anyway, so we have all these cases.
We're running out of time. So.
And now, as a defense attorney, I go up to Winnebago County. We did a murder out there. I work with Dave Weiner. I work with Fred Acosta, Mark Kazatsky, Miguel Miranda. I work with a group of attorneys. I have my own caseload as well. I've been in a courtroom every day, and I've had great assignments. I've been in for quite a few judges, and I feel I can provide valuable service. I've been on both sides as a prosecutor and the defense attorney.
You got a website?
Yes, Kougias for Judge, KOUGIASFORJUDGE.
Kougias for Judge, I want to thank Tom Stapka for introducing us in the first place.
Yes.
And anyway, I want to wish you good luck. We're running overtime.
Thank you. And I want to thank you. You do and provide a valuable service for all of us candidates, and I don't want it to go unnoticed. You take your time out, you welcome us in with open arms, and you put this together, and it makes a tremendous impact on our campaign.